We're back with a bit of an update on the air suspension fiasco on the Ram 1500 there. I had no problems for about a week or so with the truck. The air suspension stayed up, everything was fine. Yesterday, helped a friend move and came out and the truck was dumped down on the left side, front and back, which I find a little strange. I was messing around trying to get the pump to come on, it didn't. And I don't know if I mentioned, but I had this temporary fuse jumper installed in the fuse box at the front, where normally there's this type of J-case fuse. So where these two connect, I just stabbed in these, and that adapted to this, so I could just put a regular 40 amp fuse in. And I've cleaned this fuse up since yesterday because it was burnt pretty bad. So even though this fuse is rated at 40 amps, this holder obviously isn't. So it burnt in there, and that's why my pump didn't come on. Cleaned up these spades on this fuse and got it to run a little bit. But then I ran to the store and bought the proper fuse, popped it in, and my pump came on. So it did pump back up, but that leaves me to believe either A, I still have a leak somewhere, or something's wrong with the valve block. Valves are sticky and it's letting it dump when it's adjusting, and then because I didn't have a pump to refill it, it didn't launch it back up into space where it's supposed to sit. So I think I'm going to go ahead today and rip out the pump and put in my new one that I already bought. I do have 2 rear bags, but we're going to go to town with our little friend, the Soapy Water, and he's going to be a little tattletale and hopefully tell us if we have more leaks. So let's go check out a couple of the obvious spots, and then we'll have to back the truck in and get underneath for the back. Maybe we'll check the bags, but I did buy new ones to change them, so we'll see how far we get there, but let's check it out. Okay, so down in here's where the top of the front struts live. Is in there a little bit. Here's the line that connects to the top of the strut. So I guess one of the common leaking points is here where it corrodes, where it goes into the strut. So we're going to try to spritz that area. Same on the other side. So I'll see if I can set the spray and get in there. Not seeing any bubbling over here. Let's try the other side. Well, good news there. Let's go to the back and check the back where we still have the one fender liner out. I don't know if I'll be able to get to it without taking the tire off, but let's try it. Yeah. So that's where we had our O-ring repair, and it looks like it's still fine. I don't see anything leaking there. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that. I'm going to get some better light. And there's the valve block on the pump. Nothing. So, plan, we're going to whip this thing around, back it into the shop here, and then we'll be able to better take a look. I'll take the back tires off, we'll get the spare out of there, so we'll have room, and we're going to have to do that anyways to replace the pump. So let's have a better look under there from the dry of the shop. I used the handy dandy Dodge winch and removed the spare tire. Let's go take a look under here. There we are. So this is the side where the pump lives. These are the two air tanks that you can see now that the tire's out. And on this side, I don't believe there's any connection. Nope. They're just mounted here. They're aluminum tanks. And on the other end over here, there is a guy with ketchup exploding in his face and a wrench and a caution sign. So we have to be very careful eating french fries under here. I'd like to spray some more soap on here and here where these two connection points are from the bottom here, so we can check those out. And then it looks like those are the two lines that go over the top here that we can see though. And on this side, let me just move the light here for you guys. On this side is a little felt pad that I guess is supposed to protect the pump from heat from the exhaust right below it. There's some plastic clips here, one here and one down in there that we got to remove, and it looks like one heck of a rusted bolt right here that's 99% sure is going to break off. And we're going to have to remove that cover to get a better view here and do some more testing anyways, but we'll have to take it off anyhow to replace the compressor. So there's the view of one of the air struts on the back axle with a connect. There should be a connector at the top, so we'll see if we can get a better access to that too. So let's see if we can get this off here, and then we'll probably put some jack stands under that axle and get the tires off, because we're going to have to also we have access to that bag on the other side, which right now has this inner liner here, which I still have off on this side. Well, let me see if we can get this out of here, and a little cursing, maybe we'll get a better view. Just wondering if anybody's ever heard of anyone ever in the history of man that's been able to remove one of these clips by actually using the Phillips insert, or is that just a myth? Because they tease you and start to come out, and then they never ever do. Wait a minute. Are we about to go down in history here? Look at this. I can't believe it. Wow. If this is how today's going to go, this is going to be a really good day. Where was that other one hiding? Oh yeah. No, of course not. That's okay. Saved us a bunch of time. We didn't have to apply for the Guinness Book of World Records or anything. How is a guy gonna get this big fat grizzly palms in here? This way? Maybe. Nope. Ding. Good Lord. Why would they hide it down in here? Why not just give us a real screw? Is the budget that bad at Dodge right now? Just give me like 2%. 2%, that's all I need. Well, how are you supposed to do this? Do they just tear them out and give you a new one? Can't even. I think we're going to take this bolt out first, and then maybe we'll be able to kink it down, you know? 3/8. Why you gotta do me a dirty like that, Dodge? Why are you mixing up fasteners? frustrating. Oh, she's gonna go. Happy days. Now we might be able to get to this guy. We'll just murder it. It's just a clip. Oh, there's another one. Oh yeah. There we go. One cozy little felt blanket with mud in it. Okay, so here we are. Let me get a better angle in here. Here we go. This is the pump unit with the valve block right here that I'm questioning on mine just because it's erratic behavior. Why would it be good for a week and then try to adjust for load and just dump the left side? I'm suspecting I've got a sticky valve block. Either that or there is a hole in the bag, and once it changed position, the hole started leaking. They do say on these back airbags you got to have them at a certain height to even see the leak sometimes, so maybe. And there's my worn out pump. So we can respray these connections now that we have a really good view on them. And we can try spraying the front here. There's some lines at the front there we can try also to see if the leak's right on the compressor. So let's go ahead and do that at least. These are labeled right front, left rear, left front, and right rear. So these two, the green and the white, are the ones we gotta really worry about. Not seeing any bubbling action happening actually. So that's good. Let's check that valve block one more time. A little bit of bubbling on the right front there. More soap. No, I don't think so. Okay, so we're all good here. So I think what I'll do next is we'll rip these tires off so we can get a better look at the top of the airbag, see if we can check that connection, and we'll maybe we'll pull our shrouds down, or the covers down on the airbags, and check those. That's how people on the internet have been doing it, so why don't we do like they do? Maybe they're onto something. Okay, here we are. So there's a zip tie here we can cut and then be able to drop this boot so we can get access to the airbag inside there. And also think we'll be able to spritz in the top there's a connector. So I think we'll be able to do that as well. Nice and close. I'm not seeing any bubbles, so that's good. long zip tie after. There we go. Here's our bag. So what we're going to want to do is go through different heights on the bag now, so we can see it unfurl and see if it's going to show us any signs. So I'm going to turn the ignition on and we'll get AlfaOBD running. Alright, set ride height level. Most people are saying they see it when it's in aero mode. Let's go to aero mode, which right now we're at normal. It should drop a little bit actually. Why won't you do it? Oh, not connected. What happened? Select control unit. Oh, connect. Connected. Now we go to this, select procedure, set ride height level, take us to aero please, start, press next to start test. There we go, she's dropping down. Okay, we're in aero. Let's do the bubble test again. Oh, hello. Not in aero, I suppose. Not seeing any issues with this airbag yet. Let's try a different height. Let's try park. It's one setting lower. My pump sounds awful, which is one of the reasons we're changing it. With it having run that much with all my troubles, I'm sure I wore it out. Okay, again, not seeing any problems here, so let's go higher then. Let's go back to normal. We'll just check it at every level. You know, the other thing is, the truck was dropping on the left side, so I actually suspect that if we are going to find a leak, it's going to be on the driver's side. Nothing there. Let's go up again. Off-road 1. Okay. No issues. Okay. Let's go all the way up. Off-road 2. Nothing. Okay, we're on the driver's side here. I've just cut the zip strap. Here's our bag. Looking very baggy. I'm not seeing anything, which is good. So we are in off-road 2 at the moment. Highest setting, so let's clean it up while we get a chance to. And then we'll go to off-road 1. Okay, again, not seeing anything. Let's go down. Go normal. No Michael Bublé's again. Okay, give us arrow, please. Uh-oh. You guys seeing this? That is Michael Bublé right there. So we've got what we suspected, bad bags. So now we know we're replacing bags. That's fun. All right, so let's deflate both the rears to atmospheric, and then we'll drain the tanks. Which I can also do with OBD here. Spring deflate to atmospheric. Select rear left air spring. Do a complete duration and start. Look at all the air coming out of there now. So if you guys are testing these bags, remember, test them at every level you can, because this did not show up at the other levels. Let's let this complete. We'll head over to the other side and deflate the passenger side. So these are new air springs. I went with the FCS Auto ones from Rock Auto. They seem to have good reviews, actually. Warning, air spring must be deflated before servicing or disassembling strut air spring assembly. Improper use or overinflation may cause assembly to burst, causing property damage and or personal injury. Huh. We've got a fitting on the top here for the airline. I'm not entirely sure how these are supposed to go together. We'll have to look that up. This looks like just a temporary plug in here. I think this just pulls out. Yeah, there we go. Insert new line. Compression fitting down, you're good to go. Okay, let's get the old one out and go from there. Okay, so since we're going to be messing around with the air suspension, I'm going to pull the 40 amp fuse for the compressor out. This corner one here. I'm also gone ahead and pulled the control cable out of the valve block so nothing's going to try to actuate. And we've got our old friend, the gauge set hooked back up, and we're just about 90 psi, so I'm going to bleed that off as well. And then we can start to work on the strut, which is apparently as simple as bending these tabs and the strut should fall down. I think we're going to have to loosen this fitting on it too to get the airline to pop out. Nope, not even close. 12 mil fits nice. That should be loose enough. Now I'm wondering if we're even going to be able to get this down without lifting up on the frame. I don't suspect so. I don't think we're going to be compressing it enough. No. We're going to have to lift the body of the truck. Okay. There we go. Well, that's how it was in there. Ah, okay, two of the tabs are closer together, face towards front. Let's see if we can get this off here. Oh boy. So we've got that little collar underneath here that's not playing ball. Not the easiest thing to get off of here. There she goes. Okay. Look how this new one is. I don't know if you guys can see that. Came with this little shipping collar installed. That grabs the line, and as you tighten it inside the airbag there, it's got a couple O-rings inside here and an O-ring on the outside to seal it. So we better make sure we have this thing nice and clean. Let's see where the airline grabbed up there, or the O-rings grabbed up there. I'm going to get a nice clean rag. I'm just going to get some alcohol and clean off the line there. Wipe it off real good. And I'm going to put some dielectric grease on the end of the line so we can get those O-rings to seat nicely. And I'm going to also apply some here on this O-ring so we don't rip it when we tighten. Okay. Don't lose the collar when you pull this little pin out. Give this thing a fighting chance for success. There we go. Okay. Alright. Let's set this up. Let's actually clean that seat off while we're in here. A little bit of sand in there. Okay. We're seated properly there. Let's see if we can get that line started. Actually, I think we should be able to reach it from the top, no problem. Let's clip this thing in. There we go. Get the line in. Okay, we're gonna have to be careful to lower this slowly, so these clips aren't really holding this thing properly. There, we just turn it a little bit and they do. Okay, perfect. Still have to be careful because there's a big gap under here. Oop. So when we do drop it, we have to pay attention that we're not going to be off that seat and then it not go on correctly. See how we got a gap here? So I'm going to have to remove the fender liner on the other side now. So I'll rip that out of there and then we'll put the bag in on that side too. Okay, we're on the other side now. This is the driver's side. I'm actually very glad that we found the leak, at least, which is great news. Explains why the pump kept firing up. Okay, we're loose. The tabs. we go. This is the Shishi, the crappy one. Okay. I wonder if there's a better way to get these split colors off of here. I can wedge a screwdriver up into it to open it up. Actually worked pretty good. Collar is off. Pull off the connector. Yeah, the O-rings do look a little flat in here, so you definitely want to put the new one in, of course. Don't try to take a shortcut and leave that connector on there. Squirt of alcohol on the rag. The way I've been looking at these lines to see if there's any connection points along the way. I believe these are just one. I don't see any like unions or anything. I think it's a solid line all the way over to the block, so that's good. Okay. Dielectric slider grease. And we'll put a little bit on the outside of the new ferrule where its O-ring is going to contact the airbag. Pull out the plug. Slide that on, get the collar on. If you drop your collar and can't figure out which way is which, the wedge part faces up, so when the connector comes in, it's going to bite down on that and grab the hose. There we go. She's together. Come on, tabs. There we go. Alright, we'll call that good. Okay. Now, I am going to have to drop the truck slowly a little bit just to get that. Why is this like that? There. Huh. Just to get that to line up at the bottom. So I'll drop the truck maybe an inch or so and we'll look at it. How's that? We've still got wiggle room. Let's quickly check the other side and then we'll drop it some more. Looks good. Going down another inch or so. Passenger side's in. This side's still got a little wiggle to her, so we'll go down a little more here. There. I should have seated by now. Yep. Yeah, there's a groove that is supposed to sit in like so. Okay, we're good. Not loving the quality of the boots here, but I guess as long as the airbag holds. Okay, let's go change the pump. So here's a peek at the new pump unit. 4 connections here for the 4 lines going to each strut. Then we've got this main line here to the tanks. We've got an electrical connector here. We've got the connector on the valve block there that I've already taken out. And then these 2 lines actually go up behind the tail light on the passenger side. There's a filter up in there. So okay, so we're underneath here. There's our pump with the valve block. We're gonna have to disconnect those 2 spots there that go up to behind the tail light. Looks like the smaller one is just a barb fitting on it, and the bigger one is some sort of quick disconnect. We'll have to loosen these attachment points here. Actually, we can probably, yeah, it comes with new ones. This is what we're looking at here. So it does come with new ones here that we can clip into the body, and the yellow one is the smaller line, which is just seems to be a barb fitting on there. This one has a quick release type coupling on it, so I think we just pull down on that and it should release. Sort of like a cheap quick disconnect. It actually says open on it there. So that's good. So we'll have to undo those. Take off these 2 clips here. We'll have to take off these 4 lines that go to the strut. These 4. And we'll have to disconnect that other line that goes to the main valve manifold, which is that guy with the yellow cap on it there. And then we'll have to disconnect this connector here, the main connector. And I think, other than a few lines that are attached here to certain spots on the pump unit, that we'll have to release on this one, obviously. There's not much else. Like I can see here, these lines here are attached to the old one with a clip, but we should be able to pop those out. The new one just has a hole there, so we're gonna have to try to use that clip. And it does look like the bolts are here to mount it at the front, and it's got a little shoe here that goes into the frame to hold that front for you. And it looks like back here too. So you might get lucky and find some slots in the frame those connect to, so you can hold it up there and clip it in before you worry about getting the bolts in. And it looks like that's the case. There's our 2 bolts at the back we gotta get out, and then the 2 at the front are there. Fuck, turned my eye, are here. So I don't even know where my finger is. Here. So let's get up top, disconnect all those lines and those connectors under here, and then we should be able to undo this thing and drop it. I'll have to start with getting this line out of here, which is not going to be super fun. It's hard to get a wrench in here. Huh. Thankfully they're not very tight. Well, I know that's going to be really hard to see for you guys, but same type fitting. We'll just leave that on there for now until we get the pump out. I'll get these out of here. They are color coded, so we're lucky there. Ah yes, the fronts still have air in them, which I neglected to deflate. Christmas tree out of here. Hey, we got one more to go. Right rear. The other lines are kind of getting in the way here. There we go. Okay, our lines are off. Main line is off. Now we gotta do the ones at the front. Back, sorry, at the back. All right, let's get these connections apart up here at the end. This is where it goes down behind the tail light. So this one, I think we decided was just a barb fitting. No, I got those backwards. This is that quick disconnect. Okay, so yeah, that just disconnects like that for sure. And then the other one should be the barbed one. Actually, that's funny. They're both quick disconnect type. Huh. I see. This one goes the other direction. Come on. There we go. All right. That's those loose. Now the only thing we have to worry about is the power connector, which we might have a easier time accessing once we get the pump sort of swung down a bit. So let's get a ratchet on those bolts. All right, I got the bolts out of the mounting bracket there. They're just 13mm bolts. There's 4 of them. I just got one left to release the rest of the way. There we go. Now this thing should slide back. Oh, Yeah. Retarded. So there's this one little wiring clip here. Right there, that's interfering. So we gotta take that out. Okay. That was it. Okay. Let's lay this sideways so we can get to that electrical connector there. That's the electrical connector we gotta disconnect next. And it looks like it has a little locking slide on it, so. Sorry guys, I gotta put you down and undo this clippy. I think we got it. Yep. Okay, in theory this is loose. Yes. So you can see where the new pump is going to sit inside this little cutout, and this front cut, it's rear cutout here. So we should be able to lift the unit in place, plug that electrical connector in there and lock it, and then slide it into those two slots, and it should be installed. Well, hanging there for us to install. Actually, before I do that, I'd like to actually transfer this this one connector over here while it's on the ground. Be easier, I think. So I've got this ferrule on the old hose here that we have to reuse. I wish they would have just given us one of these, you know. Thought it broke the bank, really. I think I'm going to cut the end of the line off just to make it easier to get the ferrule off. There we go. Okay. Still got our O-rings. They look okay. Let's get our silicone grease. We'll goober this up. And again, the O-ring on this end too. You want to turn this connector on there so you don't just pop the O-ring off. And we'll put this on about the same distance they had it. Like that. Okay. Now we can pop it up there. Stop here and plug that connector in. Push the red lock in. There we go. Okay, let's hang it. think we're lined up. Nothing's crushed. Okay, let's get the bolts back in. Okay, physically we're in. Yay! Now we've got to clip these clips into the body here. Why do these look like they're backwards here? I think somebody's put these clips on wrong. Okay, that's easy enough. We'll just rearrange those. I'm gonna have to put you guys down and I'll clip the lines together and then I'll come back and show you. Okay, I've been thinking about this long and hard here. They do give you new connectors with new O-rings, but mine weren't leaking. And I'm thinking I might just put some silicone spray on these connectors, and from the backside we'll have access to lube them up while we install them, and things should be good rather than trying to get those off there and risk ruining the lines, since mine weren't leaking anyways. And that gives us 4 spare connectors that we can replace with this one. I'm going to put in the way it is with its line here. We already lubed up, remember, and I connected this anchor back in here. So this guy's next in line, so we'll get him started here. Okay. Okay, I've got 4 of these popped out, and I think we're ready to lube these up and pop them in here. Not sure where I'm going to be able to set you guys that you'll actually get a view. Maybe here. Okay, that feels okay. Alright, let's get these in here, starting at the back. Yeah, okay. Make the cable clip. There we go, finally. Okay. And then we've got the main connector. Not main, the valve block connector. There we go. Okay, boys and girls, we're put together. Okay, so, ooh, those are bright lights. Sorry about that. Wow. So now I think we're ready to fire up the air compressor. I'm going to pre-charge these tanks so the pump doesn't have to do it all. So we'll hook up our manifold again. I'll pump it up to maximum for my compressor, which is 125. And then we'll pop the fuse back in. And we'll run it through a couple cycles and look for leaks. Back in a minute. All right. We are at 125 psi and holding. I'm just hooked up in there on the manifold. So that's great. I'm going to unhook here and then we'll do our water bubble spray. See if we have seen any leaks so far. So I've got one there. You guys saw that? Leaking at the bottom there. Okay, let's try tightening it a little more. And respray. Okay. And we are now good on the manifold there. Same with the tank lines. I'm going to spray some on the tank and the fittings themselves in there. Then they look okay as well. Okay, so far so good. Manifold, no leaks. Okay. Of course that probably won't leak till we pump it with air, so the pump has to cycle to fill up the bags, so. Okay, I guess it's time. I'm going to quickly drop the back of the truck where I'm still holding it up on the body, put all the weight on the bags, and then we'll put the fuse in. Okay, connected to the suspension unit. Connected. Set ride height level. Let's start with park, which would be the lowest, but we're on the ground right now, so. System air mass too low. That's fine. Why don't you run the compressor then? Okay. Compressor circuit test. Oh, we heard the compressor. Chill unit initialization completed. So, how do we get it to fill spring from reservoir? Left front, set duration, short time, start. Completed successfully. Front right. completed successfully. Let's go right rear. Oh yeah, we got a little air in there. Let's go left rear. Short time. Okay. Okay, now we've done all four. Let's see. Let's try complete for the front left. Procedure completed. Let's do the front right. Okay, let's do the rear right complete fill. And I'm going to connect this back up here. Yeah, we're at about 50 pounds. So now that we have air in some of the bags, we should be able to add more from the compressor here. My shop compressor, I mean. And we'll get the air mass up over 125 in the tanks, and hopefully that'll get rid of our alarm so we can actually try the system out. We're filling 100. Now let's see if we can do set ride height level. Let's go normal. Push next to start the test. There we go. It's going up in the front, down in the back. Completed successfully. Okay. Let's try park position all the way down. This Dorman compressor is a lot noisier than the factory one, that's for sure. Okay, that worked. Let's go all the way up to off-road 2. Sure, quicker. Pressure in the tank drop as it's putting it into the bags. I think once we get it all the way up to the top here, we'll top this up with the air compressor again. Should be able to get a little more in. I'm gonna, of course, get this thing nitrogen purged once I can get an appointment at the dealer. There, we're down to 50 pounds again, so let's top that up. Timeout of subfunction. Oh yeah, okay. Not enough air probably. Let's fill some more in. Might have the compressor come on here in a bit, sorry about that. By the way, I threw in a couple new shocks too today. Didn't bother recording it, it was a pain in the butt. It's not the point of this video, but... Okay, that's gotten us back up to 125 again. Now what I want to do is check the connections on the bags that we just replaced, as well as the valve block here and the connection we had a leak on before. Now that we have more pressure in here, we're good there still. Oh yes, we are good on the valve block as well. Let's check these bags. It's gonna be hard to see in there. Thought that was a bubble, but it was just from spraying. That one's good. Let's go check the last side. Good as well. All right. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Shiny new shock on this side too. Well, with that, I'm going to put the fender liner back in on the driver's side because there's nothing else in there to really check later. I'm going to leave the one off on the passenger side where the pump is, just so we can have one more look at it. Plus, the shop that's going to do the purge is going to want to take that off anyways, so I'm going to leave that off for them. And then I'll put both tires back on, and all that's left to do is take it for a test drive. "130 foot-pounds, the torque for these wheels." So we're put back together. I'm going to take it for a test drive. And once I make an appointment to get the nitrogen purge done, I'll hopefully be able to show you guys that if the shop will allow it. Otherwise, I'll just report back with what how that went. Wish me luck. Catch you in a few days. I took it to a shop to get the nitrogen purge done. So they hook it up to a vacuum machine, suck all the air out, which also burns off moisture, let it sit there for a good hour or so. Actually more, because it said the whole procedure takes about 2 hours, so yeah, at least an hour in vacuum, I guess. And then they fill it up to 200 psi with pure nitrogen, so should be no moisture in the system, no air. My leaks seem to be solved. I haven't had any issues with it for the week before the purge and a week after the purge. It's been a week now since I had it done, so to wrap it up, the only thing I need to do now is put the fender liner back in, because I left it out for the shop. And I do want to, on these fittings here, the fill fittings, I got some stuff which I need to dig up. This. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's by Spray On. It's called Waxy Film Protectant. Medium pressure, heavy indoor-outdoor protectant for 24 months. Spray anyway. So what this stuff is supposed to do is create a waxy film over top, which will help reduce corrosion. So that sounds like the perfect thing to put on those fittings that we're doing the similar metal corrosion trick, which should help those O-rings not fail so soon, hopefully. So I'm going to go ahead and spray that on, then we'll put the fender liner back in, and we should be done. Okay, I'm just going to tape up the spot where their quick disconnect goes for gauges and filling and whatever, because I want to make sure we get a good connection when that is going on. We especially want that to go. And remember, I put some orange RTV on there too, so that's in there as well, which covered most of that joint between the manifold and the connector anyways. But oh wow, this stuff comes out like kind of thin, like WD-40. Easy to get it into all the spots. So I'm going to put it in there on the tank connections as well while we're at it. And the manifold. Why not? Okay. Might as well put it on top of the struts too, right? The bags. Beautiful. So I gotta let that dry for a bit. Okay. Should be good enough. There we are. Perfect. Now we can put the fender liner in. Okay guys, we're done. Some last words of wisdom though. If you suspect you have an air leak, don't delay it. Don't delay looking at it. I probably could have saved myself half that repair bill. I wouldn't have had to replace the pump and the desiccant that's just inside the dryer as well. I guess the whole unit. I'm sure I wore out the pump because of excessive use. It should last a lot longer than the time it did. In the mornings, I would get up, and most times I would hear the compressor come on for a little bit, just a couple seconds. The front of the truck or the back would just do a little perk me up, as if you just had a nice shot of coffee. But you get kind of complacent and used to that. But honestly, that's not right. If it's doing that in the morning, it's lost you overnight. So start looking. If you're lucky, it'll just be those two O-rings. 20 cents, you'll be done. Maybe do the nitrogen purge, but don't do the nitrogen purge until you're sure the leaks are gone, because that was a $300 bill by itself. So yeah, all in all, it's not so bad. Have a lot of patience. The worst part, honestly, is probably taking the fender liners in and out. That was my least favorite part. But searching for the leaks themselves, just get yourself a squirt bottle of water, a couple shots of Dawn soap or some sort of dish soap in there, and you'll find them. the airbags, mine all leaked at a certain height. So I went through every height setting and checked them. So do that. The most common seems to be at the aero setting, which is slightly lower than normal setting. I'm not sure why that is, but just cycle through all of them. Once you have it apart, don't rush that part. It's a pain to get those things back on there, the boots back on there, and you have to replace the tire up. So check all the height settings before you write that off as good. It seems like the rear bags are pretty prone to leaking from what I've read, but I hadn't seen those O-ring leaks before. So check that, check the top of the bags, check the top of the struts at the front, which I did spray those with wax sealer as well. So we should be good for a couple of years. Fingers crossed. Because I do love that system as much as it can be a pain, but if it's working properly, it's working well. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and hopefully this helps somebody else out. Catch you on the next one.